Philippine 50-peso note. The Philippine 50-peso note Filipino, Limampung piso formal, singkuwenta pesos vernacular, 50 is a denomination of Philippine currency. Philippine President and former House Speaker Sergio Osmeña is currently featured on the front side of the bill, while the Taal Lake and the giant trevally, known locally as maliputo, are featured on the reverse side. This note is now the lowest banknote denomination, as the Philippine 20-peso coin was recently minted to replace the 20-peso note. History. Pre-independence. 1852, Banco Español Filipino de Isabel Roman II present-day Bank of the Philippine Islands issued notes. Features Maria Isabel Luisa de Borbon y Borbon das Sicilias. 1908, Banco Español Filipino printed by USBP. 1912 and 1928, Bank of the Philippine Islands printed by USBP. 1905 and 1916, Philippine Islands silver certificates issued with a portrait of Henry Ware Lawton, printed by USBP. 1920, Philippine National Bank circulating note, printed by USBP. This note was never officially issued by the Philippine National Bank. 10,000 pieces were captured and issued during World War II by the Japanese. The others were looted by Moros in the province of Mindanao, who sold them at 1/10 of their face value. 1918 and 1929, Philippine Islands Treasury certificates issued with a portrait of Henry Ware Lawton. 1936 and 1944, Philippine Commonwealth issued Treasury certificates, printed by USBP, with a portrait of Henry Ware Lawton. The 1944 series No. 66 banknotes had a blue seal and were later overprinted with the word victory after the liberation of the Philippines from Japanese rule in 1944. Independence. Osmeña first appeared on the 50-peso note upon the release of the Filipino series notes in 1967. English series 1951-1962. The obverse features the portrait of Antonio Luna, a general in the Philippine-American War. The reverse features a painting of his brother, Juan Luna, depicting the blood compact between Spanish explorer Miguel López de Legazpi and Datu Sikatuna, the chieftain of Bohol. Filipino series 1969-1972. In 1967, Sergio Osmeña replaced the portrait of Luna. The note is now predominantly red in color. On the reverse, it now features the old legislative building. The design of the obverse was later revised, switching the positions of the 50 on the lower right corner with the central bank logo on the upper right. The signature of the central bank governor was placed beside the signature of the President of the Philippines. The font for Republica ng Pilipinas was also changed, and the text Limampung piso was made into one line. This design was later used when the Bagong Lipunan series was released in 1973. Ang Bagong Lipunan series 1973-1985. In 1973, the Ang Bagong Lipunan text was added and was overprinted on the watermark area. New Design Series 1987-2013. In 1987, the bill was completely redesigned, and new elements regarding Osmeña's achievement as the first Speaker of the Philippine Assembly, a precursor of the current House of Representatives, were shown on the right side, namely the mace and the gavel, the symbols used by the Philippine Congress. Also on the right side is the Feuat Osmeña located in Cebu City, Osmeña's birthplace. The reverse side featured the old legislative building, the home to various legislative bodies of the Philippine government. After the creation of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in 1993, its new logo was incorporated on all the New Design Series bills. In 1998, the year of printing was added at the bottom of the denomination value located at the upper left corner of the obverse. In 1999, the names of the signatories on the bills were added, starting with banknotes featuring the signature of President Joseph Estrada. In 2001, starting with banknotes featuring the signature of President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The name of the old legislative building on the reverse side was changed to the National Museum Gusali ng Pambansang Museo to reflect the turnover made by the Congress of the Philippines to the National Museum. Also, the serial number was moved at the top of the denomination that was located on the lower left side of the banknote. New Generation Series 2010 present. In 2010, the portrait of Sergio Osmeña was revised, a picture of the First Philippine Assembly and Osmeña and General Douglas MacArthur's landing in Leyte was added on the lower left corner and bottom center of the note respectively. The reverse now features the Taal Lake and the giant trevally. In 2017, an updated version of the New Generation Series 50-peso banknote was issued with changes in the font size of the year of issue and the italicization of the scientific name on the reverse side. The text October 1944 was added after the word late landing on the obverse. In 2020, an enhanced version of the 50-peso banknote was released. It added one pair of tactile marks for the visually impaired on both the extreme left and right side of the front of the note. Version history. Commemorative issues. Throughout its existence, the 50-peso bill have been overprinted to commemorate certain events, namely 100th birth anniversary of Sergio Osmeña commemorative bill in 1978. The Banco Central ng Philippines introduced 50-peso banknotes with an overprint for the birth centenary of former President Sergio Osmeña. The words IK Aminis 100 Town Caro in 1878-1978 100th birth anniversary 1878-1978 are placed near the portrait. 50 years of Central Banking Commemorative Bill in 1997. The Banco Central ng Philippines introduced the 50-peso banknotes with an overprint commemorating 50 years of central banking. The overprint shows the old BSP building in Intramuros and the new BSP complex in Malate, Manila. It appears on the watermark area in red. The version with a year mark and with the signature of President Joseph Estrada was released in 1999. The central bank's 50th anniversary. 60 years of central banking commemorative bill on July 9, 2009. The Banco Central ng Philippines introduced 12 million banknotes, 2 million banknotes for each denomination with an overprint commemorating 60 years of central banking. The overprint appears on the watermark area on all 6 circulating denominations. 45th ASEAN Celebration Commemorative Note. A total of 10 million pieces bearing the ASEAN logo were released into general circulation to commemorate the 45th ASEAN Day celebration held on August 10. Souvenir copies containing an uncut sheet of 4 notes were presented to the 9 members of ASEAN during the celebrations. San Pedro Calungsod Canonization Commemorative Note. On February 4, 2013, the BSP announced the release of a special limited edition note featuring the new Filipino saint, St. Pedro Calungsod. This note was scheduled to be released on April 2, 2013, the month that the Philippines will celebrate the first feast of Calungsod as a saint. The overprint features a portrait of Pedro Calungsod, the dates 1672-2012, the words St. Pedro Calungsod Canonization, and the quote Life that is offered, faith that is proclaimed. Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation 50th Anniversary Commemorative Note issued on June 20, 2013, to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the state deposit insurer Philippine Deposit Insurance Corporation (PDIC). The blue overprint consists of their logo and its customer philosophy committed to serve. Trinity University of Asia 50th Anniversary Commemorative Note issued to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Trinity University of Asia. The commemorative note consists of the seal and the words TUA at 50, achieving our golden dreams. Printing years == notes ==